Hi everyone, it is me Kevin. I am back with yet another video. How are y'all doing? I hope you are well. We are back with more Neopets as always, because what else am I ever doing on this channel? So as you can see right here, there's been a number of changes on my account that I will go through later on, but I thought what might be fun to start off with is there's an event going on. Most of you might already have a pretty good idea of what it is, but if you click right here, you will be taken to the Neopets. I feel like it's the Neopets version of the Grammys. I mean, the timing is pretty much exactly right? I think, yeah, the Grammys just happened. Lana Del Rey got scammed again, but whatever. I won't get into it. But I guess just to give a little background here, essentially they create categories that you can vote on as a community, and they put 4 different items or concepts that showed up throughout the year, and you get to choose your favorite of those 4 that actually fit into that category. So right now there are votes that are pending for the best pet color, the best side event, and the best caption image. I ended up picking the orange rock for my vote for the pet color, chose the fairy festival for the best side event. I feel like it should be the fairy festival, but I have a feeling the advent calendar is going to win. But I just feel like the fairy festival was so much more interactive and there was so much more going on with it, and I don't know, it just felt very monumental and a lot of people were really hype about it. As far as the caption contest, I feel like I picked the one that'll be the popular vote, but I could also see the Christmas one here winning, but I feel like it's going to be this one. We then had a handful of past categories. We had the advent calendar comic that would win. I actually, for this one, I think this was the very first one. I didn't pay much attention to these, so I was like, whatever, I'll just pick one at random. But now that I'm like taking a closer look, this one is so cute. Like the #1 cup that's like in like a really like shoddily making cup. We have the best new NP item. I personally picked the Spell Maiden Koigugi doll, which coincidentally is also the least popular of the 4, so maybe people don't think I have good taste. Who knows? Maybe people don't think I have good taste. So then we have the best NP wearable. Of these 4, I'm not surprised that the Service Pet Dogglefox won. That was my vote as well. I thought it was so cute and such a great idea. The Illusion and Jadora particles. I hate these, so I'm kind of surprised it came in 2nd place, but hey. The best advent prize, unsurprisingly, the Pebble won by a landslide. I feel like this one was a pretty great prize. We've got the Festival of Night prizes. Plasma Effect won. Stamps are always really popular, so I'm not surprised that got 2nd place. And then lastly, they showed off some of the best Altura Cup prizes. Once again, the stamps and the Altura Cup coin, which is technically also a stamp, I think. Those 2 got the top 2 places, which again, not surprising. I think people really want more stamps to be released so that they can have more albums to fill out. So another thing I wanted to show off was the prize pool that's related to the Neopets. Basically, when you submit a vote, you also get a prize. And with the prize pool, they actually included quite a few high value items. So if you take a look here, they clearly included things like the Elderly Gathao, the Halloween Hassie. Here are some of the big ones. The magical MSP Poogle plushie, some magical Chia Pops between the potato and the mushroom. And then we also have the marble Drake egg. Additionally, we have the orange rock and the Valentine paintbrush. All of these are pretty cheap now. I don't think any of these are worth more than 1 mil at this point. They're actually probably worth like 100k now. 50k for this one. Okay. I think this one's like 1 mil now. Yep. That makes sense. I think the marble Drake egg is maybe like 900k. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty wild how heavily they just tank items, but I won't get into it. I know people get mad at me every time I talk about this. I'm just gonna let it go. Another thing that I really wanted to talk about regarding especially the marble Drake eggs is the marble Drake eggs that were provided through the Neopets ended up being glitched, so that if you hatched a Drake through the eggs that you get through that event, they actually hatched as unknown Drakes. This should say like Dizu the marble Drake, but obviously it says unknown, which is a glitch. Woo. Now at the time of recording this video, so like February 10th at 9:03 p.m., the glitch is still live. If you hatch a marble Drake egg, it still comes up as unknown. A lot of people are really enjoying the glitch here and making Drakes of their own because they like the novelty of it. I myself also made a couple of these because I thought it was really cool. I have a feeling there will be a lot of unknown Drakes, and there's a good chance they'll end up fixing it. So who really knows? I don't know. Looks like the event is going till March 2nd, potentially. Yeah, there'll be a lot of these floating around, and I'm curious to see if TNT ever fixes like the unknown labeling here, or if they will ever fix like the marble Drake eggs hatching that way, or if they'll do nothing about it at all. I can see it going any way. This kind of reminds me of when Grundos used to be creatable as unknown ones as well. That one was far more rare, if I'm understanding correctly, and trade for actually a decent like tier back when they were trading for UCs. Like I was just showing, I had Dizu the Gray Drake nostalgia art applied here. At least on the pet lookups, the NCUCs are not blurry. TNT, they're still blurry. I'm waiting for you to fix it. Come on. And then the other one I made here was Lose. I know it sounds like Lose because I guess it does, but I applied my nostalgic fairy drake skin here. And I thought this like customization looked so cool with like the Tree of Life background with the darkness attack blue. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I need to personalize the description a bit more. And honestly, I might paint the pets, but it kind of depends on if they fix the naming. Like if they fix the glitch thing, I might just go back and bring back the pets I transferred off this account. I don't know. We'll see. I'm a sucker for novelties, so who knows? But on the topic of updating my pets, here are the rest of them. As you can see, there are quite a few that changed since the last time I made a video. I feel like every time I get a little bit bored, I'm like, oh, maybe I should redeem another token. And I've also been trading a lot on the NC board to like get random tokens because the gray Darrigans and fairies are the ones that are currently in rotation, but there's a pretty good chance that they're going to be rotated out, and then the next set of 3 or however many TNT chooses will be rotated in. So for me, it's like, oh my gosh, I would be so annoyed if these are available right now and people are like redeeming them like crazy and I don't get my hands on every single one I want. And I have so much NC junk that I don't use, so why don't I try to trade for these styles? So that's what I've been doing. Especially because like if I'm using a bunch of NC styles now, there's no point in me having a bunch of extra wearables since there's less pets I have to dress up, unless they add more pet slots. So yeah, I've just been looking for all of these here. I'm looking for all these Darrigan ones, all these fairy ones, and then a handful of gray ones. Can you tell I like the Darrigan ones the most? I can't think of which ones exactly are different. I feel like Boss was not a Dairy Grawl when I last showed this. I switched up Ark's customization a bit. Sign, I did end up switching to the Darrigan Yervil. For those that did not see it in my last video, I tried to roll for a gray Yervil and I used something like 3 of the brown, like the Gacha styling studio kits, and I got fairy twice and then I got gray. So I traded one of the fairy ones for the Darrigan version, and I've really enjoyed messing around with the Darrigan version recently. Doesn't it look cool? It looks really nice, I feel like. It looks really nice. Also switched up Same's customization a bit and added the Darrigan Walkie skin. I found a random trade for this skin and I was like, you know what? I want to use it. But look how crisp and clean it looks on the pet lookup. I think otherwise everything else is the same. Oh, Vatina, I've been zapping her recently, but she should have a gray eerie skin on her. So let me go put that on right now before I forget. Yeah, I've just been having a lot of fun trading for these studio supplies, and I had the nostalgic Darrigan eerie skin on her at first, but then I was like, you know what? I noticed that the positioning of a lot of UCs are done fairly weirdly. This one is like a bit high, so it makes it really challenging to style, but I really like the positioning of the gray one, so I've been using that recently. And basically what I do is I just like find cheap morphing potions, and that tends to be the driver of like what I end up using. Oh yeah, I guess I should announce it here, but I was once again invited back to host the February edition of the TNT Neopets Live. I think it's more going to be focused on primarily being about announcing new features and what's to come with different people, and then doing a smaller AMA section with Dom at the end. But it does look like they're going to be giving away some tarot card decks. It also sounds like they're going to be talking about Neopets, which is going to be very interesting. I'm curious to see how they roll that out. It's going to be a way to simplify having all your accounts tied together, especially with things like side accounts, because y'all navigating across side accounts is so annoying, especially when you have to transfer NC between all of them. And like every once in a while, I'm like looking at all my, I have like literally a running document with all the pets that I have on each of my side accounts because I never remember what pets I put where. And I'm just like logging in and out of every single one, and then I'm like doing my 2-factor authentication. It's a whole thing. So I'm really excited to see how that rolls out. I'm surprised that it's actually seemingly rolling out fairly soon. I mean, they literally said like Q1, Q2, and we're nearing the end of Q1 and they're actually holding up their end of the bargain and actually premiering it. So I think that's a pretty cool testament to how productive they've been being. You know, despite all the criticisms that I throw at them occasionally, like generally I will say there's a lot of positivity surrounding my opinions about TNT and the work that they're doing, and a lot of positivity I feel about the site in general. So keep it up. Keep doing the good work. So another thing I've been up to is, you might have seen glimpses of it depending on how I edit this, but as you saw, I got NeoQuest 2 champion, which means I beat NeoQuest 2 on the hardest level, insane mode. And for some reason, I swear I like am demented or there's something wrong with me, but I feel like I got kind of addicted to having something to consistently be clicking through, because I restarted NeoQuest 2 and I'm currently on chapter 3. I restarted on normal because I wanted to just have a really chill run where I don't care about the rewards, because there's literally nothing else for me to get at this point. You can't get the rewards for doing insane again. But right now I'm actually grinding until I can beat Silicast, who is the next boss I think I have coming up. Silicast looks like this guy. So for normal, they suggest level 32. So I'm probably going to train around this area until I'm level 31 or so, and then head over to Silicast after that. Ooh, it's a mob of 4. This one is actually going to be a little bit challenging, but it's fine. It is funny because like I kind of went into the details of the differences between like normal versus evil versus insane mode difficulties, but going from insane to normal is just going so much faster because all the monsters have so much less HP. Same with the bosses. You get more gold for kills and things cost less as well. So everything is just a lot smoother. You don't have to grind nearly as much for any of the bosses. So overall, just a more relaxing experience. And I've definitely been enjoying this a lot more than I did for Insane. Insane was fun, don't get me wrong. But I feel like when I was going through it, there was quite a lot of tedious grinding, which I knew was going to be there going into it, but it was definitely a lot. It was definitely a lot. And there were definitely a lot of periods where the game was lagging quite a bit. So it was really challenging to go through that as well. But I mean, the game's still pretty laggy, but I know that TNT's been doing a lot of maintenances recently. I don't know how often they actually go down. Maybe it's like doing back-end implementations for the Neopets. I have to imagine that's going to be a pretty significant lift in terms of like actually adding that functionality into the site. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've seen too much difference in terms of lag that the site gives me, but hopefully it's more about creating something sustainable versus just like one-time fixes, and we can have like a smoother moving site in the long run. It's kind of the hope. That's the dream. That's the goal. I feel like my life is so boring right now. I'll go to work, do my thing, finish my day, come home, eat food, work out if I have the energy to, sit down on my computer, play a little bit of MapleStory, and then play some NeoQuest 2, go to my bed, lay down for like an hour and a half, and then pass out. Truly, that is what it means to be an adult. And it sounds really sad when I say it out loud, but internally, I'm like very content with this lifestyle. I'm actually like very comfortable with it. And the thought of everything like kind of like falling into disarray is like really stressing me out. For example, I recently got promoted at work. I'm going to be a manager. I'm going to be a people leader. It's very scary to think about, and it's actually like really stressing me out. But I don't know. I'm so green to it. I feel like everyone goes in with the best intentions, and then life happens, and you're like, oh shoot, I can't actually prioritize everything. And you know, it's also easy to be the one that everyone gets mad at if you're the one that's leading. Even though something I've learned over life is that like nobody knows what they're doing. Everyone's just kind of like BSing their way through life, and if that ain't the truth. So similar to last time, I made a board on the NeoQuest plus NeoQuest 2 boards. I just wanted to document my journey through normal. I recognize a handful of folks that were with me through my insane run, and I've just been like adding a little commentary about whenever I get a level and like different things whenever I beat a boss, like, wow, LOL so much faster in normal, wow. I was actually kind of fighting with myself to decide if I wanted to do NQ2 again with no rewards or do NQ1 on evil mode, because I've only done NQ1 on normal mode and I hated it. And then I was like, you know what? I don't want to play a game where I'm not enjoying it. Like the whole point of this is to enjoy it. I really don't care about the trophy that much because trophies are kind of a joke to get in this game at this point. So I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm just going to focus on playing something that keeps me distracted from the horrors of life. And that's what this does. That's what this does. Oh my gosh. Another horrifying update, y'all. So some of you may remember that when I first traded for Cavino, he came with a pet that was almost the exact same age as him. And for those that don't know, I am a huge aged pet fan. I go gaga for a pet that is like very old or the same age as the pet it's attached to. However, the other, oh, By the way, it's his birthday. Happy birthday to him. My birthday's in December, so not this. But anywho, the problem was that he also had a pipette that was zapped. And another thing about me, I hate zapped pipettes. I hate the way they look. I hate the concept of them. I think it's weird that you can't like revert them. I think it's weird that you have to detach them to make them back to their original form. I hate it all. And so I was like, you know what? And I was like, you know what? I think the only way I'm okay with a zapped pipette is to have a pipette that is like Labray exclusive, so things like the Hoagie Kadoti, or I don't even know what to think about. Like, there's just a number of pipettes that you can only get through the Pet Labray. I can't get myself to detach this pipette because it's so old, but I also hate the aged one, so let's find a compromise. And I told myself, there's also a very small chance that your pipette can just literally die, like just die and vanish into thin air whenever you're zapping it. And as you can clearly see here, there's no pipette, so it died. But it's fine. I was like mentally preparing myself for it, so I'm okay with it. That means I'm on the journey to find a pet to attach to Cavino. I'm actually kind of excited about this because I feel like there's so many cool options to pick from. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I share this experience with the folks on this video? So I think what I'm going to do is do rare 50 to 99 so that it's only stuff that's not painted, ideally, and just go through this list. I'm excited about certain options I'm seeing already. Another one that I have in mind immediately is the Snowickle. But I have the Snowickle on Dizu right now. I mean, obviously I can get another one, but I want to look at my options too. I'm okay with the Snowickle, but that'll be a backup. So the Molten Ore, I'm a big fan of, but I'm not a huge fan of any of these colors, and they're quite expensive, 900%, and it was 10 mils. So it's like 9x, that's like 90 mil. But I mean, based on TNT's track record thus far, there is a very high chance they're going to re-release all of them. So who knows? The Fellerina is 5 mil. What the? Can you paint the Frowny? I don't think so. Oh, you can. Oh, right. The mutant Frowny. Oh, that's so cute. The Frowny, and then if you paint it Christmas, it smiles. That's really cute. I like that. I actually think what might be better is this. There are just a handful of pipettes that I always go for depending on color. So maybe I'll look at a bunch of these colors first and then let that trim my choices down. One thing I typically prioritize with pipettes is first, I needed to have a good color within like the color pool that I typically gravitate towards. So thinking Darrigan, Tyranian, Robot, Mutant, Gray. And then what ends up being my priority from there is how many of those colors does a pipette have that's like good for them. So an example of that is like the Ucali. I'm a big fan of the Ucalis because I like the Fairy and the Darrigan, so like I can switch back and forth depending on like what the vibe for that pet is. And obviously because we have NCUCs now, pets are just really easily switching vibes and colors. It's going to be even more important for me at least that they are a versatile kind of pet and have a lot of options available to them. I do like the Droogle, Darrigan, and Fairy. Actually, let's look at the Marowak one too. I really like a lot of these as well. I feel like these are some of the best pet arts, like the Pofu, the Noil, the Karma even. I don't even like this pet and it looks amazing. Whenever we find out whether or not all these get converted to Marble Drakes, I think I'll paint Spartle, this Spartle Hope Marowak, because I feel like this is such a cute fit with the Fairy Drake look. Just a full blue vibe. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen the Marowak deco before. Is this new? Wait, I feel like I've never seen this before. 2008. Oh my gosh, wait, I've never seen this before. I'm intrigued. Oh, but I hate the other colors. It's not doing anything for me, sorry y'all. I feel like Mutant is a very underrated color. Then again, Mutant Peppa paintbrushes are like 5 mil right now. Ugh, yeah, like 4 mil plus the abnormal price increases. Which, by the way, y'all, I know a lot of people use this as if it's like a rule book. Be cautious about the Jelly Neo flagging. As amazing as a resource as this is, it's not like black and white. There's definitely a nuance to it all. So use your best judgment and ask people about pricing before moving forward with purchasing any of your big items, I feel. Oh, I really like this one because, as some of you may know, the Barog is usually like 3 heads. But the mutant version is actually just 1, so it's like the normal dog. Always been a fan of the Nipter. I feel like this one is so like nice and simplistic, but then it just like has such a cool like angry vibe to it. Oh, this looks good. Oh, that's the only color though. No. See, that's what I mean. Like looking good with 1 is not enough for me, especially if it's something that I'm planning to switch around a lot. If the pet was like a name that had to be 1 specific color combination, then I'd be a little less caring about it having a lot of options. But for other things, I'm just like, okay, I know I'm going to switch this around a lot. I know it's going to bother me that I can't change up the vibe. So I want to make sure I pick one that like has a lot of flexibility. Oh, I forgot Crocs are super cheap now. Oh, I don't like any of these. Oh, the pirate one is cute. The pirate one is cute. I won't be a hater. You're right. But no. Oh, you see, like the rocks just has so many amazing options. Just like look at them. I'm a huge fan of like the disco, the elderly, the Halloween island. Picnic is a freaking potato. Come on. All right, y'all. I think I've decided I want to go with the Jeb. Kind of came out of nowhere, but then I came across this fairy one and I was like, wait a second, that's pretty cute. And then looking at these colors, there's like the disco and the robot and the Moroccan. Oh, it's so cute. I'm kind of sold on the Jeb right now. And then like I feel like Jeb is a pretty iconic one that has a lot of nostalgia for me as well. It's just been around for so long. It's like the face of Sutek's Tome. Oh, I have a quest. All right, please give Deputy HP. Strength, I don't need that garbage. He's capped out, he's capped out. So we were looking up a Jeb and it is probably expensive. Please, for the love of God, don't be too expensive. Please be like 1 mil. I'm literally begging you, world. Oh God. I have a strong suspicion it's gonna be a lot. Ooh, 6 mil? That's not too much, but I don't want to spend 6 mil on a pet pet. The thing about the way that Neopets is like deflating items is that there's no in between. It's either worth a lot or it's worth like 50K. And that's what I dislike. It's that like they, I don't know. I won't go on a tangent, but okay, maybe I'll hold out for a little bit. But 6 mil is a little bit steep. So maybe I'll restock in the Lost Desert Pet Pets spot and see if I can pick one up. I have a suspicion that I probably won't be able to pick up anything in the store either, but hey, I'm just gonna throw it in there. Why not? See what happens. I won't be a doubter, but I won't be a strong believer either. I'll be an in-betweener, if you will, and we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, something else I was thinking about recently. TNT recently posted this on their Facebook page. Which pet is Umbra's next inspiration? And it was like royal, plushie, and pirate. And people are like thinking this is a confirmation that these are the next 3 that's coming. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, it'll be pretty wild, I feel like. Especially because the pirate in particular, I didn't think that it would be coming for a very long time. But the pirate has so many amazing options. And obviously y'all know I am a... Ooh, I love a good royal. And the last time I looked at plushies, I was like, you know what? Maybe I want an account full of plushies. So who knows? I think every plushie has a nostalgic version that came out with the release since every plushie had a UC version. Just looking at all of these, I'm just like, okay, I can definitely see myself getting a full account of these. Like I might actually try to collect every single plushie token and have them on a side account and just have an entire side account with 16 pets dedicated to UC plushies. I don't know if that's a bit extra. I don't even like plushies that much, but is what I say every single time before I like actually look at these and I'm like, wait a second, I like a lot of these. So we'll see. I just feel like it'd be really fun to have a themed account. It would give me something to consistently trade NC for and, you know, just trade like for low stakes, cute names that aren't like super hard to get on the PC either. I just feel like there's a lot to go for there and adds a lot of like different goals to be aiming for as well. And then of course we have the royals. Not every royal had a UC version, so we'll be seeing some unexpected styles as well as my baby, my child, the royal boy girl. Y'all know I'm going to be on top of that shit. Easy peasy, quick pick. But I'm really excited for a lot of these, especially the pool, the royal boy loop. Honestly, the buzz is pretty cool too. Kind of forgot it looked like this. I've noticed that most of the UC poses that they redraw or brought into the game were based off the circle pose versus the happy pose, which generally I'm okay with. Let me actually double check that statement before I start spreading more lies. Yes, these are the same. This is the one they brought in. This one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, so far the circle poses match exactly for the fairies, for the ones that like got auto converted and then got brought back. And if we look at the happy poses, how does it compare? Okay, yeah, the Sai Bunny one is different immediately. And the Fairy Uni one is different as well. So I have a feeling they're going to be using these circle poses, but let me also double check the, wait, Fairy Gray Darrigan. Oh, I think every Gray and every Darrigan got a UC version, which is funny because like when they auto converted, for example, the Darrigan Uni, they used the happy version versus the circle, and the circle is so much cooler than the happy in my opinion. But I'm glad that they're going with the circle for all the new ones they're drawing. I hope they keep that up because I prefer the circle better than the happy for nearly everything. So we've got the circle poses for the royal girls. Kiris are cool, so are the Poogles. I like the Unis too. Yeah, see, I like the circle pose here so much better than the happy pose. I hope the pirate ones are better in the circle pose. Let's hope they keep a lot of the iconic poses. Ooh, you know what? Ooh, I hope they make the decision to use the happy Zuitag instead of the circle one because I feel like this is the one that everyone really likes with the Zuitag. I am curious to see how a lot of these get translated because a lot of the pirate art looks pretty dated, I feel like. So I feel like we'll see some pretty substantial changes on these. Now I'm like getting curious because I usually looked at happy pose because on Grundo's Cafe, when you paint a pet, the happy pose is what shows up on the lookups. But if the circle pose is what's going to be driving how the nostalgic versions look, I just want to double check to see how things will come through. I have mixed opinions about the best Moroccan Grawl version. Like, I think the happy version this was the one that got the UC version, but even though this shows the full body and I really like that aspect of it, I feel like the circle pose is more menacing and has a lot more emotion and like there's something a lot more theatrical about it, which I really like. I'd be very surprised if they redrew the posing for any of the like ones that got their original UC versions. Oh, I forgot the techos look amazing. Oh, that's gonna look so cool in the game. Anywho, that's enough of that. Hopefully the next rotation comes sorta soon. I know it's only been something like a month, maybe, not even, since the first rounds dropped, so I imagine it'll probably be another month or so before the next ones drop, is my assumption. But we'll just have to wait and see. I feel like hopefully these at least rotate fairly often, and we'll be able to get through most of the colors by the end of the year. We should ideally be going through every single color, and like Gray, Fairy, and Darrigan should be back by the same time next year so that it could be like a once a year type event for each color, that type thing. I don't know if that even made sense, but that's how I think it would be cool to see. Who knows? They may be in the store for like 7 months and we'd be like, all right, we're ready to swap. So yeah, I feel like there's not a ton going on right now. Everyone's just kind of adjusting to the NCUC rollouts and just preparing themselves for the next big update, the next big event. I know the next event is going to be coming out sometime this year, I think, and it's going to be a pretty heavy Battle Dome focused one, which will be pretty interesting because I feel like the Battle Dome has gotten shafted for quite a while now. TNT, we're ready for a Battle Dome update. Like I said, I'll be hosting the next AMA on the 15th of February. That's 5 days from recording this. I've been spending most of my time these days just trying to acquire the tokens for pets that I don't want immediately, but want to make sure I get before they get rotated out. Playing Neopets 2, working and being an adult, being exhausted with life as one is, kind of sums it up, honestly. So with that said, I think I will be calling it a video here. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, I hope you are all staying safe. I hope you are all doing well, drinking a lot of water, eating a lot of food, and just overall keeping the vibes good. I will see you all for the next one. Bye.